So it was 4th of July in 2003. I was doing some training with the British SAS. We were going around training foreign militaries around the world on, like, early grunt shit, right? How to shoot guns, CQB type stuff like that. And the Brits were some badass motherfuckers up to this point. They actually had the upper hand in that CQB market at that time. They were really good, man. And these dudes had already put in some time. Like I said, this is 2003. They already put some time in the past couple of years into the war. So they were the experienced guys on hands. They were kind of the salty dudes, tough dudes, tough sons of bitches, man. So it was 4th of July. We're cutting loose. You know what I'm saying? We're playing pool, drinking a few points. And I'm busting the British dude's balls like I do. And somehow it comes up, it's Leo Cunningham, right? I say I'm an Irish American, right? And he's like, now up to a little backstory, up to that point, I was very proud Irish American, I would say. I was literally raised in a bar called Cunningham's Beef and Beer in Philadelphia on top of the bar. And it was essentially an Irish pub, St. Patty's Day was bigger than Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Ham and cabbage and fucking shamrocks everywhere, So it was just part of my heritage. My great-grandpa got off the boat. My grandpa was literally an Irish cop in Philadelphia in the 40s and 50s and shit. And then my dad owned the bar, and he was a Marine, and I was a Marine, and here we are. So I was like, yeah, I'm an Irish American, right, to these British guys. And there's one big fucking guy, I'm like 6'3"-ish, dude. This guy comes up to me. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a real big guy, man. Like one of them, like, rock and roller Brits, you know what I'm saying? Oi, put a leash on her Turkish before she gets bitten, kind of fucking dudes, right? But he gets right up on my face, man. He's pissed at, and he's like, you fight for the Kelly Green or for the red, white, and blue? I'm like, what the fuck is up with this dude? You know what I mean? Fight for the Kelly Green or red, white, and blue? What you mean? You know what I mean? Like, I know in my head it's an easy answer. I'm a Marine at the time, you know what I'm saying? So of course I'm an American, But like in the back of my head, there's like this Celtic warrior going, fucking when Irish eyes, to pop him one, I didn't, but I'm in a defensive posture in a Philly shell a bit here, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean? You want to fight for the Kelly Green or for the red, white, and blue? And I'm like, I'm a Marine, motherfucker. What's your problem, dude? I'm an American, And he gets right back in my face. He's like, stop calling yourself an Irishman, you St. Patty's Mick. And then he's getting bowdy with me. I'm like, yo, motherfucker, right? All his boys come running all over, grabbing, oi, 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 oi. They oi a lot. I don't know what the fuck. Oi, 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 oi. They grab him and pull him away, right? And his boys right next to me. I'm like, he was a mellow guy. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck's up with him? You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, mate, you don't understand. He lost some of his friends to the IRA. I'm like, oh shit, because they had been doing, the terrorist bombings for the IRA had been going on into the early 2000s, even though I think there was that treaty and the Good Friday thing in the late 90s, but this isn't that much further past that. This is early 2000s. So these guys have been dealing with that shit, and I was like, oh, fuck, man, that's messed up. I never thought about that, I'm just some rockhead from Philly, don't know about geopolitics by any stretch of the imagination, So it really put a big culture perspective on me, because this motherfucker ruined St. Patty's Day for me, I stopped calling myself an Irish American that day. I don't think I've ever said that since. I'm proud to be, my culture's from Ireland, but so it did ruin St. Patty's Day, but it made 4th of July a whole lot better. So tomorrow it's down with the Brits, but I like them motherfuckers. I was a tough dude, America. Tales from the woods.